Now, more than ever, we need to focus on stories of strength, courage, and unity. Welcome to COVID Talks, a series dedicated to promoting positive conversations during uncertain times.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Friday, if you can call that Friday, because it seems like every day is Friday. My name is Anthony Rapp of PRcision. I'll be your host tonight. Welcome to COVID Talks, positive conversations during uncertain times. Tonight, we have a great show. We have a very special guest. We have Mr. Todd Bavona, who is an expert in all things video. We're going to talk about the importance of video right now, obviously, under the current circumstances we're facing, but also the importance of video post-COVID, about residual value, about creating, about using new tools, about new methods of communication, such as what we're doing right now, and how he's basically taken Fortune 500 model of how to do this and scaled it down to the level that is affordable, attainable, and usable by small businesses such as mine, and all of them on Staten Island, including schools, local businesses, and even individuals. So we're excited to have Todd with us. We thank him. Typically, he doesn't do a Friday night show, which I found out recently, so it means even a little bit more that he's with us here on a Friday night. But before we get into our interview, we're going to run through some positive headlines as we do each night. So first up in our positive news, kids looking for something to do. A youth basketball program is going to begin virtually. So 6 Staten Island training programs will launch this Monday. Online. They're going to host a virtual basketball program each night next week, Monday through Friday. You can learn more about it at facebook.com/SIHSL hoops. It's not open to just Staten Island kids. It's open to anybody. You can check out the website, check out their Facebook page, and you can gain more information about that. Next up in headlines, we're finally starting to get some good news regarding droppage of positive coronavirus here on Staten Island. So the percentage of positive coronavirus tests has finally dipped under the 45% mark, meaning that we're headed in the right direction. And all of you staying at home and staying under quarantine and practicing social distancing, all of your efforts are working. So thank you for doing that, because right now we are in a much better place today than we were 1 week ago. And also, we invite you to check out something new from SI Parent. So this week I had the pleasure and fortune of hosting a marketing roundtable for Staten Island Parent Magazine. It was a great discussion talking about what businesses can do and how they can still interact with their clients and stay in front of potential clients. And they've created a brand new e-format magazine instead of their traditional print publication for the time being. So you can literally go to siparent.com and download all of that information for free. So I'm going to put that link in the post. You can visit the website, click it. It is free content inside this digital e-zine. You're going to have stuff to do with the kids, stuff to do for adults. It's a great resource, and we invite you to go there. We invite you to support SI Parent. Check out what they have going on, and there's some great content. And finally, we're going to end on a light note. You've always heard as a child, listen to your elders. So let's give a shout out to Antoinette and Sarah. Let's listen to her. So at 101 years old, even in the midst of the coronavirus crisis, Antoinette's advice is get up, get dressed, put your lipstick on, do what you got to do, and have a Coors Light. So God bless you, Antoinette and Sarah. Antoinette actually reminds me very much of someone in my own family. We call her Mom, but that's exactly what Mom would say. So God bless you, Antoinette. We appreciate it. Thank you for the positive news. All right, a quick PSA. So if you want to learn more, stay in touch, or follow us. Follow us on Facebook at COVID Talk. Visit our website at covid-talks.com. Check us out on YouTube at COVID Talks, and you can download the podcast on iTunes and on Spotify. And if you're interested in being a guest or have a topic you'd like us to discuss, send us an email at info@prcision.com. We'd be more than happy to accommodate all requests. We appreciate it, and we will get your topic discussed or your guest on the air. So before we bring on our guest, I neglected to thank you for tuning in. And if you're listening to us on our podcast, thank you for doing that as well. We appreciate it. If you can go to the bottom of the page and press the share button, this way we can continue to spread this information even further. We greatly appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to introduce my friend and our new guest, Mr. Todd Bavona. So Todd has a very storied history, which includes working for major corporations such as the NFL Network. Matter of fact, he was supposed to be on site in Vegas for the NFL draft, which took place yesterday, and the second and third rounds are tonight. So he was supposed to be there filming for them. He's gone to film at the Olympics 4 times this summer. Would have been his 5th time, but obviously, as we know, the Summer Olympics have been moved, unfortunately. Other names include the MLB Network, Fox Sports, NBC Sports. The guy is a young guy, but he has the experience of someone probably 2 or 3 times his age. And we're lucky enough and fortunate enough to have him here tonight to talk about ways in which we could leverage the power of video, a little bit about what his company is doing, Gotham Trinity Productions, what they're doing, a Staten Island-based company, how they're interacting, how they're helping. And basically, he'll also give you information on how, if you like what we're doing here, the way this is set up and how we're doing these sort of webinars and web series, they have a new package available that you can purchase that will allow you to do this. And all you need to do is press go. They'll monitor it, run it, set it up, execute it. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. We're happy to have him here. I'm going to bring him up. And there he is, Todd.
What's up? How are you, pal?
What's up, bro? Thank you for coming on a Friday night. I realized what a big deal that was.
It's all good. We realized we were going up against a lot of DJs and music performers on Friday night. So we're like, you know what? Gotham After Dark, 10 o'clock on a Friday? Nah, maybe not. So we decided to take off, but it's all good. Got plenty of time.
So actually, that's one thing I left out of your credit. So I was talking about Fox, the Olympics, all these big names.
Right.
The real big names that we got to talk about are Mike Bloomfield. Happy birthday to Mike Bloomfield. Unfortunately, Massimo Dodana. You're doing what? 3 or 4 live streams a day. Is that correct?
Correct. So we do 3 live streams a day. In the morning with Mike Bloomfield called Breakfast with Bloomy at 10 a.m. Massimo Dodana co-hosts that. I join in as often as I can.
No one really watches when Moss does a show, just so you know.
Yeah, exactly. No one wants to watch Moss do a show. But his show is on at 3 o'clock called Midday with Moss. With Moss, Mike, and myself. And then every night at 10 o'clock from Monday through Thursday, it's Gotham After Dark, Gotham Trinity. I host, or my business partner, Michael Graziuso, he'll host it. So, and that's been fun. But credit to Mike Bloomfield for kind of getting this ball rolling with live streams from Techie Geek. He kind of started it with his team, and then we just kind of piggybacked off him, to be quite frank.
And that's great because I piggyback off of both of those. So it's working out great for us. So thanks, Mike. We appreciate it. So now, before we get into it, those 3 live streams you just mentioned,
yes,
are more fun, right? But you also are involved with more serious topics with guests and with questions through organizations like the SIEDC and others, correct?
Sure.
So where are those shows?
So on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, SIEDC Live is hosted by myself and Gotham Trinity Productions powers that broadcast. I'm the digital media ambassador for the SIEDC. And they also came into this fray with going live and interviewing various business leaders and throughout Staten Island, members specifically. For instance, Chris Williams from Williams Optical was on the other day. We had, awesome guy, really funny guy, and had a lot of great info regarding his business, but overall just positive vibes from that guy, right? And then
he's an Eagle Scout. Did you know that? I don't know if this is right. This something. He's an Eagle Scout. God bless him.
I bet he is. He's that kind of guy, well-rounded guy.
Yes.
On Tuesday, we had 2 people from Lions Pride, Chad and Danielle Reyes, and then we had Carla Lasarosa from Intox Fitness. So point being, it's been a good way for the small businesses to stay in the conversation when they're pretty much closed. The gym, for instance, no one's going to a gym. They're all closed. And it was good to hear Chris Williams talk about, hey, listen, we're still open, but in a different capacity, right, Rap? Right. You talk about it every show. How are you adjusting your business model? And he brought up a great example of curbside when it gets nice out, doing consultations outside in a bigger setting. So, yeah, that show's been great. SIEDC Live.
So now we kind of did that backwards, and I apologize, but there's more. There's so much to you. You're like an onion. We got to keep peeling. So from Fox to Breakfast with Bloomy, that's a big jump, but we want to get it all in there. Yeah. So let's take a step back. Tell our viewers and our listeners about you, your past, how you got involved with all these major media outlets. That, I mean, you're talking big names, the Olympics, Fox, NFL. These are not small time companies. And then how did you take all of that talent and knowledge, and how did you bring that to Staten Island through Gotham Trinity?
Sure. So I'll make it quick. I actually went to Marist College, which my diploma is right there. So that means true. It's true. Anyone wondering, that's my diploma right there. Vinny Bonomi, how are you? Specialties, love you. specialties. Went to Marist College for 4 years, went for sports communication. There, though, I was involved with Marist College Television in the hands-on aspect, directing, producing, teleprompt operator, camera, audio, whatever it was. I was fortunate enough to be asked sophomore year to work for a company called CSI Sports, now defunct, to work at a boxing fight at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. I worked for a gentleman. I helped a gentleman called his name Chuck Goslin. He was working a jib camera, which is a large camera on an arm with remote controls to do zoom, focus, pan, tilt.
Gotcha.
I asked him, hey, how does this work? Tells me how it worked. At the end of the show, he's like, I need a hand breaking down. I help him break it down. He says, give me your contact information. I'm looking for guys like you to help me out. I give him every possible way to get in contact with me. Cell phone, my mom's phone, my dad's phone, my email at school, whatever it was. I worked for him for NBC 2 months later. From there, he gets me into HBO Sports, and I'm working my junior year as an intern for HBO Boxing, Inside the NFL. That was a show with Dan Marino, Bob Costas, Chris Carter, Chris Collinsworth. I was the on-set production assistant.
Wow.
Getting people coffee, doing runs and errands.
Getting any autographs? Getting any autographs back there?
I did. I was I was an intern, so you're allowed to kind of, take pictures and whatnot as an intern, get some autographs. I also used that and did a fundraiser at Marist, and that was a raffle. So I got all those guys plus Peter King to sign a ball, and I raffled it at a fundraiser at Marist.
I would have kept it. Good for you.
Exactly. Well, to be fair, that ball right there is actually the one that's autographed by Dan Marino. Yeah, so that's there. One was given up for fundraiser. And then after that, I worked for Food Network for 14 different shows, corporate events, and I became a freelancer. I'm an independent contractor. So I work for whoever's going to pay me. And that's
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's it. But from food to QVC, I work for QVC now for 10 years, which is insane. I worked for Fashion Week. The Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week at Bryant Park was my first one, circa 2010. I've been with them ever since. I brought me to DC for an event. I've been everywhere. So it's just, that's the nature of the beast, mainly in TV production, is freelancing, freelance camera, lights, whatnot. So, but yeah, I've been all over the place. Really blessed with people trusting me, and to do stage managing is mainly what I do, Rap. So it's been great, man.
So how did you take all that and partner up with, and let's talk about your partners,
sure,
to create what is now Gotham Trinity Productions? And what kind of services are you guys offering?
So I've known Michael Delagrazie since I was working in the produce department of Wall Bounds in Pleasant Plains, my high school years. I used to work the graveyard shift. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. One of the best jobs I had. And while I was there, I also found out about Michael Graziuso, and I found out that they like doing film. Interesting. Then I had a short house, met Mike Graziuso again, and I talked about drones. We got to get drones. We have to get in front of the curve before this gets too popular. And then I found out that they did films together, did short skits. They'd mimic what they saw in movies. They'd recreate movie scenes. And that's circa 2012, 13. A few years later, they wanted to do a Doritos competition. They shot it with an iPhone. I was like, you got to be kidding me. After that, I introduced a Canon 5D, 7D, and we shot some shorts that way. So that's how Gotham Trinity was born, between the three of us. And we decided we wanted to do film. But then I said, guys, it's going to be tough to make money just doing film. However, Julio Vincent Cambudo from Five Borough Pictures has proven you can do very well doing film, as he was successful with Team Marco. Shout out to him, because he's a big reason why we're a big part of the SIEDC fabric right now. And we decided we have to do some other stuff. So let's do some commercials, promotional events. And then I took what I learned, Rap, from ESPN and MLB and all these networks, a lot of multi-camera shoots, live events, apply it small scale on Staten Island. And it's worked great. And we've covered events live. We've done packages for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society live for New York One. We did a package for them, whatnot. So, but doing commercial packages that add value, packages that you can release videos throughout weeks, months, one per month can work. So that's how I took a big picture and just make it a little bit smaller, make it more affordable.
So I'm going to jump ahead and I'll come back, because you mentioned that you could stretch out. You could use it, leverage it. So I know personally with myself, my business, and my clients, and I'm sure you experience the same thing sometimes, and I don't want to call it a sell, right? Because I never feel like we're selling. I'm never selling anything. I'm trying to help. And if you purchase, and that's fine. But when I'm trying to tell someone or tell a client, listen, we should really make a video of this rather than just do it. We should, it's worthy enough to have it filmed professionally. Let's
Correct.
box it. Let's put it in a video. Let's chop it up. Let's download the audio. But the reality is there is an additional cost. But in my opinion, and I want to see if you agree with me, in my opinion, the residual value is for perpetuity because it's always going to live online and you could always chop it. You can always, so talk about video as an investment and what you see and what you think about how it could always be used, repurposed. Whereas, if we do an event, it's over. It starts at 7, it ends at 9. People go home. That was great. It's forgotten about. So tell me about the video and how you feel the residual value and all the value it brings.
Rap, I do agree with you. There is residual value for, you just said an event that lasts 2 hours. Well, you can get out of that. You could extrapolate from that content that can last you a year. You can have various aspects of that event that you might want to highlight over the next year, building up to that next event. The Cumulative Film Society, for instance, is going to use the video that we captured from their event at CSI that Partners in Sound actually put the stage up and did all the audio, by the way.
We have to shout Moss out again.
We have to shout out Moss again because I love the guy. He's awesome. And he gets upset that I'm not nice enough to him. But anyway, but there's value to that, right? Because now it's promotional materials to get you pumped up and get you ready for the next year's event. As far as other aspects, like a restaurant, for instance, we've been fortunate enough to work with many restaurants in the island, and all these videos that they release week by week or month by month brings value because it puts you back in the psyche of, oh, wow, that's a good video. You know what? I keep seeing these videos from, just to throw an example, Juicy Lucy or Patricia's of Brooklyn. Wow, it looks like they have fun there with the birthday celebration. I want to go do that. Or, you know what?
Everyone
I like to
twirl the napkin.
Everyone loves twirling the napkin and just yelling and
That's
screaming.
free marketing that's ever been done.
It's brilliant.
God bless him. I love Over Patricia's.
It's brilliant. And then we go in there, we capture that now in a professional way. We have a rail cam flying up above everyone, and we have this great 360 perspective. And it's like, wow, what the hell's going on at Patricia? So you can always add to videos too. So if you have if you're a bar and you're doing different St. Patrick's Day specials, I don't know, Easter specials, Valentine's Day, each thing you can do a relevant video for and capture what that event was and then air it and keep airing it and say, look at the vibe. Look at the atmosphere here at Unique. Look how fun the bocce ball is. Look at us at Juicy Lucy when we have a football playing in the background. So you invest in professional video done, and people love seeing that stuff. Everyone scrolls on Facebook and Instagram. If you have a nice 20-second clip,
they stop.
Fast paced, good music, upbeat, smiling people. You see your face there. Oh, yay, check out myself in this video. That's value added. It's like, wow, you know what? You look like you're having a good time. I want to go to your event now. And then you get to document and use this stuff, like you said, forever. It's really valuable.
Clients are big. So I guess let me frame the question. So do you see clients post-COVID as being more or less receptive during this quarantine?
More receptive, especially in this time. Like you mentioned, we're doing packages now in this format of a talk show style format. Excuse me, everyone's home. What a great time to get testimonials from people. And moving forward, even if I can't sit them down on the shoot day, we can book them from their home and talk to them through a laptop. It's still value added because I'm still getting them. I'm getting their natural reactions to saying how you helped their business. You know, why was Techie Geek so good for Partners in Sound? Well, this is what Techie Geek did for Partners in Sound. And here's the example of what they did. That's value added. Even if I couldn't get Moss and Mike to sit in a chair still for 5 seconds, because you can't get that anyway. Right. So you get them in front of a laptop instead and have them do a testimonial. So I think this is the start of a whole new way of doing business from a video production standpoint without having to show up on set, bring in tons of equipment, tons of gear. This is value added as well. And in a live stream format, like you said, Rap, people are going to start doing this from now on. And broadcasting live from events, that's something else we offer, is live event coverage. What if you went to Rab's Country Lanes, for instance, our good friend Frank Wilkinson.
Doing a great job.
Doing a great job. He's live at 2:00, facebook.com/Rab's Country Lanes. He's got a bowling event, and he's got Anthony Rapp versus Massimo Dodonna for this big old charity fundraiser. Well, Gotham can come in and shoot multiple cameras with roll-ins and graphics, and that's what you're asking, Rapp. How am I taking the broad scope of NBC and ESPN? That's what I'm talking about. Do that aspect. Just shrink it down. Shrink down the scale.
And
I'm
when you
saying.
shrink down the scale, more importantly, for anyone who's listening or watching and is thinking of doing this, we're not going to talk price, but you're also shrinking the price, right? So you're
Correct.
getting the big production, but you're getting it at a scalable cost. It's not
We're-
coming in, at Fortune 500 levels, because you're able to take the content, produce it, create it professionally, as it were for a Fortune 500 company, but scale it down to a more affordable level for an individual or business to purchase.
Spot on. You're not paying the production trucks. You're not paying, and I love them. They've employed me. NEP, AMV, Game Creek Video. You're not paying these exorbitant prices because you're going to broadcast in front of, like, the NFL draft, for instance.
Right.
Everyone's probably watching in the next 40 minutes. The NFL draft's going to be on ABC,
Right.
ESPN, NFL Network, right? That's supposed to be a multi-million-dollar production out of Vegas. Multiple production trucks and units. Well, the idea still is the same, and everyone could use that for their live events or for anything, and take that and downscale it for a price that makes sense for everybody. And that's what we're trying to achieve. And that I think there's value added in that for the long term. Short term, this Facebook platform and going live, sharing your brand to people while everyone's home is valuable. And now when you get out of this, and we're all going to get out of this good, bring multiple cameras. That's what we can provide. Graphics, roll-in videos, sponsor videos for fundraising events for those that are sponsors. And now sponsors can roll in videos during fundraisers or events and see their brand now. So it's using, like, sponsorship. You see sponsorship all over sports, right?
Yep, everywhere.
Look at Premier League football out of Europe. They have sponsors on the front of their freaking jerseys.
Right.
So same thing. Why can't we do that here? And I can put my Gotham bug in the upper left-hand corner of the screen if I sponsored this broadcast, let's say. That's value added.
If you'd like to, I'll accept any amount of money. So just if that's something, if that's something Gotham is interested in, you can speak to me offline. We accept anything, and we'll accept anything.
Of course.
So your last comment actually sparked two new questions in my mind. So
Great.
The first one is so the way you said the draft is supposed to be a multi-million-dollar broadcast.
Correct.
So, I mean, we're seeing this all over industries. I'm seeing this with a lot of guests that I've had on. But do you feel that this is, even though it's positive, do you think for the big corporations, the conglomerates, the behemoths, do you think they're going to look at this and they're going to say, you know what? Tonight, perfect example. You know what? Last year, this cost us, ESPN, $100 million. Tonight, it cost us $2 million. And it looked just as good. It was received just as well. And it went off without a hitch. So, but is that good or bad for the industry? Because now you're talking downsizing. You're talking, how do you think that plays out on a macro level?
The ratings came out, and about an average of 11.1 million people watch the NFL draft on ABC, ESPN, and NFL Network. The question there is spot on. ESPN's going to look at this and say, that's interesting. The guys who are the penny pinchers, the accountants, the guys who are looking at the bottom line, we achieve this, although it's a tremendous technical feat. And I have to shout out everyone who's involved at ESPN and NFL Network for putting that off. It's an impressive broadcast, 150 feeds from throughout the country, including Jerry Jones's yacht, which I found hilarious. But anyway, but you're not going to replace the value of a cameraman at a baseball game, at a football game. You're not going to replace the in-person value of fans storming the Bellagio at a floating set in the water and getting draft picks flown in a canoe onto the set. There's a certain amount of value. People want to see that theatrics. Right. And again, it's a break from the norm. We would have loved to have been in Vegas right now, putting on this show that millions of people would have seen. There's value in that because there's sponsors. And I'm talking, like you said, Fortune 500 companies who throw tons of money, the Verizons of the world, the Sprints. They want to throw their money at that because you're going to have X millions of viewers. And there's value in what we all do as professionals, camera operators, audio engineers, utilities, stage managers, makeup, hair. We're not going away. They might downscale, but you're not getting rid of us. And there's value to that on a small scale that you can achieve that big scale of a production, just like this, just like what we're doing right now, Rap, having a conversation, talking about our brands. So people are going to look at it differently, but
so you think it's not going to, it's good. So even though they're going to reevaluate, because like you said, the financial guys of all these huge companies are going to look at it and say, you know what, we could save a couple $100 million here, a couple $100 million there. But you're right, because most people don't think of what you just said, the theatrics of it, right? So you take it at face value. Most people, and I would say this, 99% of people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes of most things they view. They're not realizing that, like you said, a canoe on the Bellagio looks great on TV. They don't realize that it took, 72 guys to fill up the tank with water, another guy to sweep the floor, 20 guys to do the hair. So you're right. There'll always be that production value. So I think then it'll set up the future well. It'll be a complement to things to be done in the future.
And that's what I say to live events, like live event coverage. You can't replace camera operators to cover it. Audio engineers, lighting designers, lighting technicians, excuse me, the live DJ aspect, having music, like you can't get rid of that. And whether
we like that.
What's that?
Good. We like it. We don't want it to go away. Yeah.
Exactly. It provides value. And if you're a big business and have the money, or you're a small business, you want to sponsor an event and you want your logo to be flashed up on a live stream in front of thousands of people, you want to see good product. You don't want to see a low budget type of discussion or music or just a regular talking head behind a green screen. There's no value or fun in that. And I think people have come to expect big budget, big theatrics.
Cool. So I want to take a step back now. So you touched on it a little bit, but I want you to really dig a little deeper, because I want people to understand, and whether they're watching now or they're listening later or they see this video next year, I hope this helps you get a client next year. And I'll be honest with you, because what you're doing is great. What are some of the packages? And we don't need minutia of what's included and what's pricing, but you're offering a lot of stuff. We spoke about it. So what are a couple of these packages that we're talking about, and what is included in them as far as the value added?
Short term, we're looking at being in quarantine for X amount of time more.
Right.
We say, let's sit down, let's set a time block where we can talk about your business and extrapolate from that various episodes that you can launch on your respective social media outlets, including our own Gotham Trinity Productions. In addition to that, on your website, you can get testimonials. Again, I go back to testimonials. They're very valuable. Now you can do video versions just like this. I could sit here and talk about Precision right now and how awesome Anthony Rapp is, because here I am and it's recording and I can play it back anytime I want. There's going to be monthly packages where we're going to do monthly shows, monthly live shows. And again, Rapp was asking about videos and its longevity and be able to have good investment value, right? If you have live shows, you're constantly in the mix. You're constantly in the conversation, talking about what's new, what's different, what special guest you have on a show, or what special events you're hosting, and have people from those events come on the show and interview them. So I think we're going to do a lot more multi-camera event coverage, and then do wrap-ups about it, and maybe have a live show and do a reflection on what that had. So that's going to be another live event coverage package. This digital package of let's talk for a few hours or an hour, and let's get as much content as we can in that hour block and then air it.
Right.
So I think that's what's important. And we'll see what else we come up with. There's a lot of options you could do with this. Heck, we could do a poker tournament online.
Yeah. Shout out to Tom Bannis, wherever. Now you're also offering the ability to do what we're doing right now live as well, right? Completely branded for, I'm just going to throw, a doctor's office, dentist's office, any brand right now can reach out to you. And I got your email up there. So, anyone with a question or interested in trying to learn more about how to get these packages and take advantage of video, Todd is available. I'm sure he'll be more than willing to answer your email and pick up the phone and talk to you about it.
Of course.
You can hit him up at toddb@gtpny.com. But yeah, there's real value in your doing this right now, because, I see a lot of clients that are coming to me and saying, we get what you've been saying for the past 12 years. We get it.
Right.
Now they get it. But now in some cases, I don't like to say it, but in some cases it's too late. They're already so far removed from where they should be that you couldn't pay us enough to help you get where you should have been.
Right.
So right now is an opportunity for business owners, an opportunity for even individuals, thought leadership. You can be the president of a college and you could contact Todd. You can lift yourself as far as thought leadership is concerned and make yourself a more important figure than you were pre-COVID. So there's many ways that people can use this. And I think it's an invaluable tool. And unlike what we're doing here,
Right.
Todd, we laugh about it, but this is not really what I do. We're trying my best, and I'm trying my best. We're learning it. The irony is that, we found a good program and now everybody's using it. So I'll take credit on that. But outside of that, we're kind of running by the seat of our pants. It's
We'll see
working.
what happens. Right.
But you guys, are pros, and you're going to deliver the content and the quality that people are looking for.
That's
so
right.
what I want to do is right now, we're going to introduce tonight's COVID Hero of the Day. If anyone has a question for Todd about any of the services offered, his past experience, etc., again, you could email him. We have his email up on the screen, but now would be the time to put your comments in the comment box. So we'll introduce our COVID hero, and then we're going to come right back, and we will answer any questions that are, well, I should say that make sense. So for guys that are on there that are clowning around like Massimo or anybody else, we're not going to answer those questions, and they'll call and text and curse me later, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm used to it. There's no big deal.
Daily occurrence.
So moving into today's COVID hero of the day. So today's COVID hero of the day, all of them are very close personal friends of mine. I consider them family. And what they've done is, out of an unfortunate circumstance, they have made a tremendous, tremendous impact on Staten Island. So recently, the Amorosi family of Gerald Peters Jewelers, the owner lost his mom to the coronavirus, and his two sons, obviously, their grandmother. And while this was a terrible tragedy, the Amorosi family took the opportunity to turn this into something positive, which is what they do. They've been doing this in the community. They're always there for the community, supporting nonprofits, doing great work. And they took this event that could have really crippled someone, could have really gotten someone in a bad place. And they looked at it and they said, you know what? We're going to celebrate mom and grandma's life. We aren't going to focus on the bad. We're going to celebrate her life. And what they did was they donated 450 meals to the staff at Egger Nursing Home, which is where Rosemary Amorosi resided, and literally put smiles on the faces of everyone who's working so hard, because, again, these are frontline workers. Frontline workers is a broad term, and people tend to think immediately of, doctors, FDNY, et cetera. But people working in nursing homes are 1,000% first responders. And the Amorosi family, we salute you. We love you. Thank you for making an impact in the lives of everyone working at Egger Nursing Home. Shout out to you guys. Always doing great work. So, Todd, we're back.
Yep.
And we're going to go to the comment section. We're going to see what we got. So Todd, you know what? My sister, Mary Rapp, shout out, Mary.
There you
She's
go.
asking, we'll bring it up. So she is a teacher in Manalapan. So she's asking, do you offer school packages?
Yes, we do. And in fact, proud to announce, in partnership with Massimo Dodana and Partners in Sound Productions, Michael Bloomfield, head geek at Techie Geek, and myself and Michael Graziuso from Gotham Trinity Productions, we are planning on doing virtual graduations, specifically right now, since a lot of seniors, whether you're high school, heck, college, or 8th grade, and they can't do graduations in person, we're going to be able to provide that service to you in a virtual setting and be able to have it personalized graphics, transitions, have guest speakers, whoever your guest speaker might be, have the principal maybe be live in a warehouse setting, and we can do something like a live feed, so to speak, but keep it narrowed to just the viewers and just the families and students, of course, to be able to watch it live. So yes, we do have school packages, including full year packages where we can come in and cover various events and follow your school year and big events and help build your video presence. Again, how applicable to a school, for they have events every week, month, it seems like, right? So yes, we have packages available for schools for graduation, specifically, very important now. But we also have packages for a regular school year, whether it's half a year, full school year, in order to do live event coverage. The next thing we're working on is sports. That's what's near and dear to me, is being able to cover sports on the high school level and broadcast that, whether it's conjunction with our good friends at the Staten Island Advance, or whether it's another means. Maybe Gotham Trinity Productions is coming up with like a network idea of being able to source every single high school and getting their content, their sports content in particular, on a platform. Rap, I ask you a question. I'm answering a question with a question. Do you remember the days of SI 76?
Wow. Yeah.
Alicia Vitarelli, Tina Servasio, Nick Legakis, Joe Nugent, ring a bell, pal.
There you go.
I mean, come on. My question to you, Anthony Rapaciulo, what happened to it?
Yeah, you're right. I have no idea.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
No idea.
MSG Varsity came in for 5 years. Where'd they go?
That's where
Gone.
it went. Yeah, why?
Gone. They put in way too much money, and it just didn't work, and they folded. Verizon Files came in. They came in. Where are they?
Right.
Gone.
Gone.
I hate when people call Staten Island the forgotten borough. Stop being forgotten. Let's do our own. Let's bring back the days of SI 76 and have a weekly news show, weekly sports show, daily sports content that athletes can check in and share some highlights, post-game interviews. Why can't we do that? There's so many great schools on Staten Island with awesome media programs. St. Joseph by the Sea is one of the best. Tauntonville High School, Aaron Affolito, how are you? He's out there doing great work. New Dorp High School, Desiree Canucci. I know Port Richmond has a program. Met them at the St. John's University Fair. Why can't we all source together and put this content for public consumption?
Listen, I'm on your team. I think that that's great stuff. And I actually apologize because prior to this, you and I discussed that we were going to get to the commencements. So let's talk about that a little more. Shout out to my sister for bringing that up, because that was one of the topics we wanted to get to. So, again, we're in crazy times, right? But it doesn't mean that there isn't going to be a way in which to service and now I'm going to guess, but thousands of seniors, at least on Staten Island.
Right.
There's been no definitive answer, but it looks as though, there may not be a walking down the aisle in a traditional fashion. So what is this commencement package, or, what have you come up with that you're going to be offering? At least I know to Staten Island schools, and I'll put you in touch with my sister. Maybe you can get out in Jersey. That'd be great. But what do you guys have coming down the pike for these commencement packages?
Full disclosure, I don't live far from, I'm in Cliffwood or Matawan.
There you go. Oh, it's right down. Even I know where that is.
Yeah, down the block. Come on. Would love to work for you. Absolutely. Bring it on. What does that entail? Okay. Different packages. We're going to do different types of things. We could do a socially distant live package where, and this is still up for discussion with Massimo, Mike, and myself, of how we can actually achieve this in a safe way for us,
right,
workers. And if a representative from the school wants to come in person, what's the best way to achieve this in a safe way, right? Does that mean having them on stage and doing live announcements or being the MC? Broadcasting it live is definitely an option to just the select people who can log on to a specific website or whatnot and watch their commencement live. And that's going to include, again, graphics, transitions, your colors, fonts that you want, and every aspect of a commencement, but get rid of everything that happens in person, right? Like we don't need to see everyone filing in and walking in.
Right.
We don't need certain aspects of commencement. We would love to have the band perform. There's always the high school band usually performs. Star Spangled Banner is sung. The national anthem is done. You have a guest speaker, the reading of the names. We're going to include all that in whether it's an hour package or 45 minutes. We're going to make it work and tailor it to the school and personalize it to the school without them losing out on that experience. That's what we're trying to achieve.
That's important. And I know that it's funny because that's how we began the conversation. 20 minutes ago? Just me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
that was what we were going to focus on.
Yeah.
And we got off on a tangent, talk about NFL and Fox.
That's happened.
But yeah, so again, if anyone watching, listening, if you're interested in learning more about what we just mentioned there and all this good stuff going on for schools, because again, even if we're uncertain, we don't know, all that is a given. Mm-hmm. But if you're an educator or you're involved in a school, you're on a PTA, you're involved in any way, I encourage you, shoot Todd an email, because he'll talk with you, he'll speak with you, because it's going to take a while to get these things in motion. Correct. So the sooner you reach out to Todd, the faster they'll be able to provide you with a package, what it looks like, how to get it done. And then on your end, from the school standpoint, you can begin to implement it. So reach out to Todd immediately to get that done. And let's see, I don't think we have any other comments, but I'm very, very thankful that my sister brought that up. So thank you.
Yeah, no, that was a great point. I love to see Vito talking about loving SI 76. Let's organize something like SI 76, and it becomes a bigger beast of a project. if you can involve and do like a feeder system when get the intermediate schools involved.
Yeah.
There's people interested in media. So have it be like a feeder program. Have people start out at intermediate school, start to get their feet wet with video, photography, editing, and whatnot, and then build to the high school level, and then build from high school. Our local colleges are great. I know CSI has a program. They're building in a new studio.
Okay.
I know they were getting new gear. St. John's has a program. Wagner has a program. Let's all work together. How can we make this work, generating new, exciting content from all the schools on Staten Island, while at the same time maintaining journalistic integrity by airing weekly sports shows and news shows, entertainment shows, of course, working in conjunction with everyone. That's the biggest thing for Gotham, is inviting and involving everyone and as many people as possible in this program.
Cool. So I'm not even going to ask you for a closing remark, because I actually felt your energy from here. So that was perfect.
We're excited. We're excited. Again, just an excitement. You said at the top what you do and you try to achieve. It's about the community. It's about Staten Island. We're passionate about Staten Island. We love Staten Island. Let's make us different. Let's make us great. No matter what's going to come our way, we're still going to have fun times ahead, good memories to make. Gotham wants to be able to be a part of making those memories, and let's share and spread the love of Staten Island.
Cool. So I'm gonna drop you down in the green room. I am gonna thank you for not only being on the show, but being on the show on a Friday night, which like I said, that's crazy. But we did it. We got you. You shared a lot of great information. So if you're watching, remember that you can email Todd. If you're listening, you can email Todd as well. If you watch this later on, visit them at GothamTrinityProductions.com. And Todd, enjoy your night. I'll see you in about 3 minutes downstairs in the green room. And excellent. I really appreciate you being with us tonight, brother. Thank you so much. All right. So once again, we want to thank everybody for watching. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We're off Saturday and Sunday, but we do invite you to check us out on Monday night at 7. We're going to have Rosa Maria DeFrancisco, friend of mine and also a lawyer. She's going to be talking with us about planning for the future. So right now, a lot of people are realizing that there are things that they thought were in place, which were not in place. So unfortunately, it took something like the coronavirus crisis to get people's minds thinking this way. However, we're going to make it a positive thing, because right now you're able to work with Rosa Maria and her firm, or any other firm out there, and really get your ducks in a row. Things like estate planning, things like wills. And she's going to give us an education and a little bit more information on how to get the latest information, how to do some stuff on your own without even bringing in an attorney, things and resources that are available for you online and through the phone that can help you get your affairs in order. So we're really, really looking forward to having her with us on the show on Monday. So with that being said, once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. This is COVID Talks, positive conversations during uncertain times. Good night.